We need an answer that's logical, something that can make sense. So when you tell me, oh, I feel like this because I'm blah, 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 if it makes sense in my mind, then I could be like, oh, okay, I can kind of see where you're coming from. But you're basically taking the words that have been given to us, right, that uphold us in law, right, for like woman, adult, human, female, and we have spaces that are designated for the female sex, right? And then when we have you come on, you say, oh, I'm a woman and I'm female because I'm female natured, or I feel like I am inside. Now, a female is someone who denotes the sex that can bear offspring. So do you feel like you can bear offspring?
No.
No, so then you're not, you can't feel female natured, right? Do you see what I'm saying? Because that is what a female is, and that's applicable across the board, whatever species we're looking at, you know?
I understand that.
Yeah.
There are women that cannot give birth. I don't think that's the only thing that would define a woman.
Go ahead, Andy.
Right. So the reason why, if you had heard the definition, I said denoting the sex that can bear offspring. Now that there's a key word there, denoting. So denoting means an indication or a sign of. So even though if a woman is infertile, there's an indication and the sign of, should have everything gone okay, then she would be able to bear children, right? This is why we have whole medical teams dedicated to the female sex for women who are infertile. Some women are infertile, they can go and get tests done, IVF, things like that, and then become pregnant. It can happen. Right, but there is no way, no matter what you do, you would never be able to. So we need to make a clear-cut distinction between the two sexes, right? We have males and we have females. Now, what it seems to me is happening with you is, I don't know if you've hit some type of maybe a midlife crisis or something like that. And I actually do feel like you're making a mockery out of gender dysphoria, right? Because gender dysphoria is the discomfort and incongruence with your own body. There are people out there who would say suffer from this condition and would never be caught unalived having a beard like that, or their male genitalia. They would not use their male genitalia because that is gender dysphoria is sex dysphoria, because it's an incongruence with your sex body. I don't think you show signs of that, to be honest. I obviously I don't live with you, so I don't know. But you seem to have had no problem throughout your life doing what other males do. Right, so you will always relate to males. There's nothing, you know. It's like throughout history, for example, like in Spain, right? Men used to be very effeminate. The more effeminate a man was, so the higher his heels were, the more masculine he was perceived like that. So what you are doing, you are turning woman into a fashion statement, if that makes sense. You're saying, because I like to wear the color pink and put false lashes on and like to tie my hair up or whatever you've done to your hair there, you know, then that somehow puts you in the same category as me. But that's not the case. I don't think there's any, you know, you're a man that likes to wear makeup, and, you know, could you not just accept yourself as who you are and not what you want to be?
Would you consider, well, first of all, my psychiatrist pretty much says the opposite of almost everything that you just said, because I've been in therapy for quite a while, and she was saying body dysmorphia and I can't think of what you just said. I can't think of the word. You just said it.
Gender dysphoria?
Yes, gender dysphoria, body dysmorphia, bipolar, and obsessive compulsive disorder. I will admit I had a highly abusive childhood, okay? I understand that there could be some mental health issues here, but would you consider the fact that I could not go on living the way that I was living? I understand that up until this point in my life, I understand that I lived a lie that I was, like you say, got my wife pregnant. I was trying to conform to society. I just knew deep down, I didn't think I would ever come out with this. The only reason why I did this on here and even got on here, I've only been on here for about 3 weeks, didn't even know what it was for support.
So, a couple of things. Oh, and the other. Okay. So you have a cocktail of mental health conditions, from my understanding. What you just said, you have body dysmorphia, gender dysphoria, you have bipolar, and you have OCD. Correct?
That's what my therapist says.
Anything else?
No, that's all she said.
Is it possible that you're feeling gender dysphoria because of the cocktail of mental health conditions that you have?
I doubt it, because I've been feeling it my entire life, because it's as far back as I can remember for that. I don't think the bipolar started until I was around 12.
Okay, I mean, that's pretty young. You also said you were, you had a rough childhood, correct?
Yep.
Well, I'm going to ask you a question. If it's too personal, we could just move past it. Did you have any assaults as a child?
No.
Okay. Just physical abuse, emotional, mental?
Mental and physical.
Okay. A lot of people also that I interview seem to have like a cocktail of mental health conditions and then something really traumatic in their childhood. But I do want to go back and ask you, just re-ask the question that I did ask you before, which was, why do you think it's important to prioritize your own needs before the needs of your children?
You're right. A couple days ago, I was regretting everything. Felt like I should have never come out with it. Felt like I was probably destroying my life and those that are in it. But who knows what would have happened had I had to continue, because I've spent years suffering from severe depression. I've been in the mental hospital at least 2 to 3 times for self-harm.
We don't accept or tolerate anybody that does any self-harm on this live at all. We don't condone that, just to share for purposes. Go ahead.
Okay. I was trying to use
It's okay.
the right language. And I feel like at the core, that's where that came from. Because I was living a lie.
What do you mean by that? When you keep saying you're living a lie? Is it just because you want to just present feminine?
I feel like the presenting feminine is just reflecting how I feel on the inside.
So why not just be like a feminine presenting man and, keep your children and wife out of this thing you're going through?
Because I really felt like I was living a lie when I was wearing the suit and tie. I didn't feel like I was expressing myself the way that I wanted to. I didn't feel like I was being true to myself. And I don't know.
Jamie, I just have a question. So you said that you felt like you were living a lie and you have no intention of coming out to the people that you work with, correct?
Uh-huh.
So how do you manage to get through your work days? And then how does that flip when you get home?
This is the only place that I can do this right now. There's no way, actually, there are people that I've seen on here that know me, so the word's already getting around. It hasn't got to my work yet. I just don't, like I said, I couldn't risk losing my job. I'm still not comfortable really going out on a daily basis to the store. So I guess I feel like I have to do that in order to support my family. Then when I get home, nobody's really judging me here.
So support your family financially.
Yes, yeah.
And then how do you support them emotionally as you're going through this? And they're still taking it in too. I mean, it's not just about your transition. They're all in the mix as well. So how are they coping emotionally? How are you dealing with that as well? Because that's a lot for them.
Yeah, it is. My wife, I just tell, no matter what, I love you. Because the first thing they do is they think you're homosexual. So once I kind of explained everything to her and told her that, in my opinion, this would be a lesbian relationship and that she would have to be comfortable with that.
Bro, stop. Come on.
You know,
Bro, you fathered 4 children. You can't do that. You can't. I'm just not even, this person right here is a lesbian. Same sex attracted. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's just like a whole new level of disrespect. Sorry, go ahead, Andy.
Well, you asked me how I talked to my wife about it. I'm just telling you that.
Can you see why we think that basically everything that you are doing, right, is for your own sexual gratification? I don't know if you watch porn or you like to fantasize about lesbians and things like that. Because you wouldn't need to sit there and tell your wife that she isn't now in a lesbian relationship, right? Yeah. That's very harmful. What I'm finding, right, is that, all right, maybe you've gone through some struggles in your life, and and you've got a few mental health issues going on, but one I don't think you've mentioned is narcissism, right? Because there's a lot of me, I. There wasn't a lot of your wife and kids involved in this journey of how they feel, and you came onto an app where other people were affirming you in whatever it is you think you are. They're affirming you for it. You felt brave, and then you thought, I'm gonna do this live, and if my wife drops me or behaves in a particular way, in a negative manner toward me on this live, then all the other people who have supported me will gather around me and stroke my ego. This is what I'm gathering from you, right? Because there is no way that, 1, you're a woman, 2, that you are a lesbian. I think acceptance will set you free from what you are. You say you lived your life as a lie, right? And now you have found your authentic self, right? So your authentic self is you are an effeminate man, and that's okay. If you want to be feminine, no problem. But we cannot equate femininity and masculinity to the sexes. That is something that can be experienced via both sexes, right? We can have females that are masculine, women that are masculine, and we can have men that are feminine. They're not ostracized in society. Feminine men are welcome in society. There's a lot of feminine men. But that is not the vibe I'm picking up here from you. That's just not what I'm seeing. I'm just seeing that maybe you've hit some type of midlife crisis or something like that. You need an outlet, or you want to be a bit more feminine, and it's come out in this way. This is what I'm picking up.
I was trying to answer a couple of your questions from earlier.